What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Telcoin today. It is the 23rd day of November, and here we are sitting at about 0.005. I wish I made a video on this thing yesterday because we would have definitely called for the low. This is actually exactly what we expected. I did make a video over the past 2 days on Telcoin, but up here, even here, we literally called for this exact move to happen. We literally at the low called for a move up. Potentially, we even go above this high, and then we still come down just below these lows. And the reason why we knew we'd go just below those lows is because from a low here to a high here, not including the fake out highs, the 382 is right down here. And typically, you interact with that. If you hit the 236, you go below like this, you would at least go to the 382. 00467 or something just below was the exact call, and that's exactly what happened. Now we're up 11% today. From the low, you're up overall 20%, which is nice. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're trying to invest in Telcoin, if you want to get in on this thing before it really takes off, your time is limited. The window of opportunity is closing. 1 hour and 54 minutes left in this day here. And over the coming days and weeks, we should be seeing rapid expansion, I think, to new all-time highs. No, okay, I'm sorry. Not new all-time highs. Well, rapid expansion to those levels, sure, but maybe not to new all-time highs so far. New relative highs, new cycle highs. Okay. We look at this here just for comparison's sake. We take a high to a low. Should I take this low? Is that a proper low? Is it a scam wick? I don't know. Went just above the 1414, went just below the golden ratio. You take this high here to the low here, and you went just above the 1414, just below the golden ratio, kind of right there smack dab in the middle. We take the high to the low here. That doesn't mean that you're going to do it again, but let's imagine you did. The 1414 is at 2.5 cents. The golden ratio is at 3.5 cents. You're at about half a cent right now, with the potential to go back to that half-cent level or even just below there. You're not just going to move up in a straight line, but from here, that's anything from what would considerably be about a 4.5x to potentially a 6.3x move, or higher, right? Because at this point, you got to ask yourself up here, are we not just breaking out of this channel? Are we not just breaking out of this long accumulative phase? And if we are, might we see something that's bigger than what we saw within that range? Right? If we're moving up here, we're breaking out of this range. Might we see something bigger than what we've seen so far, right? And if the answer is yes, the next target area would be anywhere from about a 9x, 9.5x to an 11, 12x potential. I doubt that from here we break out and we rally up to new all-time highs without stopping. Right? There's going to be some place along the way, whether it's here or it's here, that we consolidate for a month or two, and then we continue to rally. Okay. But I do believe Telcoin will see new all-time highs. Let's talk about that now. Screw it. Let's do it. I want to get into the short-term stuff, but let's talk about the new all-time highs because nothing's guaranteed. There's no guarantees at all. But statistically speaking, once we get above about 4 cents, it's practically inevitable that we will see a 21-cent price to $1. Okay, or more. Very possible the or more option comes into play. The 1272 is the minimum target for new all-time highs. And when I say minimum, I mean we're likely not going to stop there. And from the current price, that's about a 36 to a 37x, almost a 38x. If we go to the golden ratio, that's 166x. If we wick a little bit above it and we interact with $1, we find resistance right at $1, psychological resistance, that's about a 190x. And the real kicker, we could see more. We could see more. Now, there's no fibs that line up with seeing more. To me, it makes the most sense that we would stop around $1 if we were to hit the maximum limits of what we're going to see. But to be completely fair, as far as the market cap goes, you check out for higher prices. I just don't think you check out for $2.93. I mean, maybe it's possible, but I don't think you go that high. It's statistically impractical to consider targets that are between the 1618 and the 1886. Typically, that doesn't happen. Maybe at best you wick a little bit above the golden ratio, in which case maybe we go just above $1. That can happen. But likely we stop probably just below $1, if not right at it. Or there's a chance we do stop at 21 cents. Maybe we stop at 40 cents, 50 cents. There's a chance for that as well. But your minimum target is about a 37, 38x. Like it's crazy potential that we're talking about here, you guys. And this will not last forever, right? What we're doing here, I think it's obvious at this point, but if it's not obvious, let me spell it out for you. We're doing the same thing that we did here, what we did here, what we did here. But notice how each move subsequently is getting bigger. This move will be no different. It will be bigger. It will be bigger. From a low here to the high here, this move, that would take you up to 30 cents. No, I'm sorry, 3 cents. 3 cents. And likely from this golden ratio zone, right, you found resistance at your golden ratio, you likely do push to your 786, 886, which from here, again, would be anything between about a 373% growth to, which is a 4.7x, to potentially a 7x move. Yeah. And I would think here we do see a move like this, much like this, where it's going to be consistent week after week growth. By the end of this year, we will see a 2.6 to 3 point, let's just call it a 4 cent, 2.6 to 4 cent price for Telcoin. Go home. You don't need any other technical analysis. Just go to sleep, buy Telcoin, and then sell it once it's at 2.6 cents to 4 cents. You don't need to watch another YouTube video about it after this for at least probably about 40 days, 45 days. We'll be making more videos on Telcoin, though. Don't worry about it, okay? I want to look at the short-term stuff. We'll get into that right now. Hit the like button if you guys are having fun so far. I am. It's nice to see things like this coming to life. It's nice to see things performing how you'd expect them to perform, because if they're doing that on the pullbacks, they're going to probably perform how you expect them to perform to the upside as well. I don't want to go as far as calling this a bull flag, but I do assume that what we saw here, you know, like a week and a half ago, we're probably going to see coming out of this. This very well could be the beginning, and this is why I say the window of opportunity is closing fast. If anybody's watching this video and at this point you're like, yeah, but is it a good time to buy? I hope that's obvious. Well, you said it could go back below 0.5 cent. Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it does. It's still a great time to buy. I would back here, I was not advocating for the buy. If you wanted to catch a short-term play, we mentioned that, but I would much rather advocate for the buy here, knowing that we have support, actual support to count on. I'd much rather advocate for it here than advocating it for back here. But we literally called it all the way back here, and then we set it back in these days here. We'd go up, and we'd come back down, and we'd likely go just below. Nothing crazy, but something just below. And there's targets that are lower that we could make sense of as well, but that 382 just makes the most sense. And when you get a powerful move like this, and you bounce right off the 382, I don't know about you guys, but over a 2-day period, bouncing 20% right off that level, that seems significant to me. Makes me think that we're going to see a very voluptuous move that would continue. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this next move is larger than what we just saw. Okay. Maybe it doesn't happen as fast, but it would be larger overall going into the first couple weeks of December here. Man, I want to buy some Telcoin. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, bullish on the RSI, bullish on the MACD, bullish on the stochastics. It's all bullish. 4 hour time frame, RSI is breaking out of its downtrend. You can see that. You finished your downtrend in the oversold zone with bullish divergence. Oh no, I'm sorry. Wasn't your downtrend. Was it? Yes, it was. Okay. No bullish divergence though, actually. Sorry, just a higher low. You don't need bullish divergence. Higher low bouncing. This bounce off the oversold zone is powerful. Even this here, even that's powerful. You know what I mean? But just when you especially get it off of the oversold zone like this, that's especially powerful. And not only that, you broke your downtrend too with that. So that's nice to see there. Stochastics getting overbought. Great. What happened the last time? It had been a while since you'd been overbought and you finally got overbought. Here, it had been a while since you got overbought. You finally got overbought. Well, I guess here you saw a very nice move, and then you did continue upwards. This might not be a good example. This might imply then that we consolidate. And maybe we do. Again, with that being said, maybe we do pull back below 0.5 cent. I highly doubt at this point, I highly doubt that we go lower than this low. I would think we form a higher low, if anything. But I do think that we continue to move higher. The stochastics, even though they're overbought, typically this is whenever you start to see the magic happen, right? When you got overbought here, it was on this day. If you sold as soon as you got overbought here on this day, you would have missed the next 2 days of growth, which were 15% and 30%. An overall combination of like probably 50% in growth. Just crazy growth in a very short amount of time. MACD crossing back to the green effect. I think we do have turbulence along the way. And while this window of opportunity is closing, it's not going to be here forever. I do think we have a little bit of time. We probably move back up to this area. Maybe we get a lower high. Maybe we get a slightly higher high. Probably pull back, find some support. You'll do a little dance up in this area of resistance, and then you'll break out. Okay. The way that I have it drawn here would imply then that it will be Thursday that we move higher. It might not be Thursday. Maybe it's not this next Thursday, but next Thursday. I would think it's probably the first, not the latter. But in a short amount of time, nonetheless, we will be breaking out. We will be seeing higher prices. Once we're above 007, it's on until like 2.5 cents or higher. Yeah. Which is pretty damn good growth from about a half cent, if I do say so myself. The daily time frame here, looking at this, the RSI is bouncing right off the 50. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. The stochastics are bouncing off the 50. The MACD is about to touch tips with its oscillator, and that's a perfect... Man, you are at bounce city on every single one of these indicators. What a perfect day to have an 11% pump. That's all I can say. Undoubtedly, you are in the middle. You're in the process of a move right now that is breaking you out of a consolidation phase you've been in since December, November of last year. A year-long consolidation phase is coming to an end, and it all started last week. Just by comparison alone, from what we saw in this last move, right? You're about halfway through in this move. I wouldn't say that it's this that you're going to make, but it's something more like this. So you're probably overall like a third of the way through. You got 2/3 of the move left, if not more. Again, it's a range. It's not just a specific level. It's not just the 786. It's somewhere between here and there. It can be either of these lines or somewhere in between. You got a lot of potential here, man. Even on the short end, what? That's going to be probably a 4.6x before Christmas. Probably in 2 weeks' time. I'm thinking in 2 weeks, maybe 4 or 5 weeks at the most. 2 to 5 weeks. Can we get on that? But by the end of the year, 2.6 to 4 cents, that's where you're going to be. Maybe it won't be by Christmas, but you can get late Christmas presents if that's not the case. You know, a good late Christmas present, in case anybody out there is curious about what a good late Christmas present is, think about like memberships or vacations. Vacations are great late Christmas presents. Nobody's going to be upset that you didn't give them a Christmas present once they find out that you got them a plane ticket to Aruba or a cruise through the Caribbean, right? They won't care. Or maybe you got Christmas figured out and you want to go on vacation anyway still. But I'm just saying, man, a 4.6x, that's enough to get excited about, in my opinion. And again, likely in a very short amount of time. And beyond all that, I'm absurdly confident. I genuinely believe Telcoin will see $1 in price, if not 90 cents by the end of the cycle, which will put it over a 100x. I very thoroughly believe this is a 100xable coin. I don't have anything else that I want to say. I've said everything I need to say. So with that, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Take care of yourselves. Hit that like button, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye, my friends. I'm going to look up one more thing real quick, actually. Hi, Kanashi, just flipped green. I don't know, man. That could be a good thing. Doesn't seem too reliable on this one. The monthly's flipping green, too. That's nice, but you've been very choppy. I don't know, though. When's the last time you had several months of red, you flipped green, and it was just a 1 month standalone? Typically not. Typically that's not what happens. You actually get multiple months. So I think we're about to kick it off right here. It's gonna be good, baby. It's gonna be real good. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.